So guys, where are we today, I hear you asking? Welcome back to Ridden Revival. I hope you've enjoyed the last two tours that I've put out that have been very special. Very special for me anyway, I've loved it. So today, on this beautiful day back in England, I've just ridden out to Box Hill. It's about an hour out of London. Gonna cruise up Box Hill, have a nice ride, and maybe have a coffee and talk over how the bike's been in general over the last two tours. I've done 3,000 miles in about 1 month. Yeah, I've put a few miles on the old girl. Let's shoot on up and grab a coffee and chat over how she's been, some good points and bad points of the bike. Ridden Revivalers. Hope you've all been very well. I'm back in the UK now, obviously. From my trips I've done, first off I did if you haven't caught them, I did the trip through the Pyrenees mountains, so all the way through Spain and France, through those mountains, which was just stunning for a first motorbike trip. It was a blinder, great one to do. Too extreme, I'd probably say, after my experience of it, so I recommend that as a potential first or second trip to new bikers who are looking to go touring. Yeah, and then I sort of ramped it up a gear. I needed to get back to the UK. I was in the south of France, so I was going to ride back anyway. So I thought, why not? Caution to the wind. I'll do the Route des Grandes Alpes, which basically it goes from Menton in southeast France, or Monaco. I started from Monaco actually. Very flashy. Went from Monaco and it winds all the way through the French Alps, right on the border with Italy, and goes all the way up to Lake Geneva. What a trip. I passed over, I think it was 16 mountain cols, high up in the mountains, up in the clouds, literally. Yeah, it was pretty special. And the roads, you're riding right alongside cliffside roads with a sheer drop down one side. Really next level up from the Pyrenees. Quite a advanced route, if I could say that. There's obviously more advanced, but for me it was definitely tested the skills and improved my riding dramatically. That's a big point from the trip. I feel a lot more experienced and solid on the bike, a lot more confident. Yeah, so if you haven't catched those, check them out. They're good fun. Thank you everyone so much for all of your comments, your kind comments. I really do appreciate it, really do. So there is a bit of work that goes into these videos, so it's great to hear that you're liking them and always supporting the mental health awareness cause, which I like to get behind. But yeah, thank you all for your comments. I do try to get back to all of you, and I seriously really do appreciate them. It's really nice, so thanks for that, guys. Let's get on to the bike. I thought I'd do a quick video on how my Speedmaster performed. I've done 3,000 miles in 30 days, or just under. Not record breaking, but some good miles on her and some serious roads. And I'm glad to report it has been absolutely flawless. Good result, 5-star for the Speedmaster. She's nailed it. Nothing go wrong with it. She literally hasn't put a foot wrong. I may have a few times, but the bike, yeah, I'm really impressed, especially with the way it's designed, the classic details, and you know, some parts of it could be a little bit fragile, but it's just pounded through the miles, even through the bumpy roads and the hairpins in the Alps. It's just not been a problem. She's She's done really well. Yeah, so I think we'll get on to, I'll give you 5 good points of the Speedmaster, and then I've had to try really hard, but I've managed to think of 5 bad points as well. Maybe if we go for the bad first, get them out of the way, and then they're not like really bad points, they're just little niggles. I really did struggle to find them. Do excuse me, it's tricky filming this without a proper tripod, which I am going to invest in soon. But bad point number 1, I got the screen fitted, and it's a fantastic screen. I really like it, and I'm very pleased I got it fitted. Anything over sort of 60 miles an hour, especially with an open face helmet, you do get, I'm 5'9", and I do get a lot of buffering around the head area. It doesn't bother me too much, I get used to it, but for some people it could be an issue. But as I say, it's at higher speeds, so it's not too much of a problem if you're just cruising around. Okay, number 2 on the negative points. Not a negative really, I just thought I'd mention it. It's incredibly comfortable motorbike, but the seat, this is the standard seat. You can opt for a comfort seat, which I believe is very comfy and will solve the problem. So I am looking into changing the seat. If you get 5 to 6 hours riding in a day, it does start to get a little bit uncomfy. Obviously, depending on your build, yeah, I would start to get a bit of a numb backside after a while. Given my fairly youngish age of 32, I've got a bit of a dodgy hip, so it does sort of niggle my hip a bit, but that's me. Too much sport when I was younger probably. But yeah, the seat is fine, but 5 to 6 hours she gets a little uncomfy. On to number 3, let's get the bad points out of the way, was electric charging. I charge a lot, so it's half my fault. And this isn't designed for massive adventures and touring, so to be fair, it's not really a bad point for the bike, but it did niggle me a little bit. In the end, I managed to find the correct adapter, and then I was fine. It all worked okay. So if I bring you down here, guys, I had Triumph fit, which I assumed was going to be a standard 12-volt socket. It's just down here above the engine. It's actually a DIN socket, so it's a lot smaller than a standard 12-volt sort of cigarette lighter one. So I didn't have the correct adapter, which meant I couldn't charge anything. However, I went to a French garage and I picked up one of these. It's a DIN to USB charger, really simple. It's got 2 USB inputs, so you can charge 2 things at once, and it literally, tricky with one hand, but just plug her in and there she is. You can see her working there. The only slight issue I may mention is it's right above the engine. It does get very hot. I didn't have any problems, but I just thought I'd mention that, you know, just in case anyone does. Yeah, I mean, as I say, I didn't have problems with the little charger, DIN to USB, but what I would recommend, I'm going to be getting one, is one of these. I'll pop a link in the description, you can take a look. They'll have one of these, you can get it on Amazon. But it's one exactly the same as this, but it has a sort of curved, and it curves up. My thinking being it'll curve up away from the engine, and just take away a bit of that heat. That's the idea behind that. Alright, on to number 4, negative points. Sorry about all of the negatives here. They're really not, guys, too big of problems. I just set myself a task to get 5, so I managed to come up with it. The next one's luggage. Now, again, not a fault of the bikes itself. Wasn't designed for huge mile crunching trips, but the luggage is straight from Triumph. You can get this from Triumph, from their accessories. It's lovely quality. This is leather. This is a nice sort of green, stung by a wasp, green fabric here, but the literage is not that great. Lovely quality buckles here. It's a beautiful thing, but yeah, that's the size of it. And it does warn you 3 kg maximum, but I'm sure I've gone above that. It's been absolutely fine. Other than that, the luggage is good. I've got this here. This isn't Triumph, this is from a company called Trip Machine. Yeah, that's been an absolute lifesaver, to be honest. Beautiful thing, the quality of the leather it's really, really nice, guys. It cost me about £120 sterling. You can actually get them on Amazon cheaper. Again, I'll pop a link in the description. You can you can take a look there for yourself. I highly recommend it. If you like the look of it, they do them in different colours as well. Yeah, it's very nice. Just one word of caution on this bag. Although this is extremely nice and the quality is, I really do, it's very, very high quality. If I take it off for you, you can see these magnets. It's got 6 magnets, very strong magnets on the back, so it's not going anywhere, trust me. But when you stick it on, just be careful, because I have scratched the tank. Yeah, so that's just a word of warning. I've got a small scratch on the tank from it. I was probably a bit rough, to be fair. Right, I managed to squeeze out number 5. Number 5 bad point. God, this took me a while to think of this, but it's brilliant on itself. But the suspension is all I could think of on those roads through the mountains. You know, if you hit a big pothole or there's some really bad quality tarmac roads, which there are up there, you know, it's going to happen. It can get a bit clunky and you can get a little bit nervous with her, because she's such a beautiful bike and so well put together. I just didn't want to damage her or anything, so the suspension was a bit clunky on some of those roads. But guys, this is not designed for off-roading. It's a cruiser, so don't hold it against her. Okay, thank God for that. That's the bad points out of the way. Oh, I didn't like doing that, poor girl. I hope she doesn't take it personally. And on to the good points. First, number 1 good point, which I can say, which is top of the list, I think, is again the reliability. She didn't put a foot wrong. I think I've had other bikes where I've had, you know, punctures, which is just luck, I guess. Punctures, chain problems, wiring problems with the indicators on the front, all sorts of niggles. This has not done anything. So yeah, number 1 on the list is reliability. She's been brilliant. 30,000 miles? 3,000 miles, excuse me, over just under 30 days on some demanding roads, and she's been perfect. Alrighty, on to number 2. Positivity all around here. Number 2, my personal number 2 is, I think it is one of the most beautiful looking motorbikes that one could own. May not be top of the list on some people's, just stunning, and it's something I don't take for granted. It's just when you pull over and you have a coffee or going for lunch and she's there, the girl, and it's just every time I get off it, I just appreciate it and absolutely love the looks of it. So yeah, that's number 2 on the good list. Moving swiftly on to number 3 on the good list is the motor. It's a beautifully made motor. We'll start with the looks of it. I think the way it's put together, such great detail on it, and the power of it. It's a 1200cc. It's the Triumph's high torque version of their Bonneville 1200, so tuned for lower down torque, and it's such a great amount of power. It's not too much to scare you, but then it's not too little. You can really have fun with it and just use that torque and relax whilst cruising. I describe it as a friendly but fun motor. Yeah, it's great. So yeah, that's my number 3. Coming on to number 4, handling of the machine. Now bear in mind she is a cruiser, so I was being left in the dust of a lot of other bikes up in the Alps, but that's not what she was designed for, not for outspeed and performance. However, around some of the hairpins up in the mountains and those tricky roads, once you get the hang of her, it takes a while, but after 3,000 miles in 29, 30 days, I've definitely got the hang of her. She's got that classic Triumph handling feel to her. It's very good. It's confidence inspiring, and you really can dip it in and then sort of flip back and roll back to the next corner. It is chuckable. That is my number 4 positive on the Triumph Speedmaster. And last but very much not least, stand by for the positive number 5. Yeah, so I think you can guess what number 5 point is. The sound is perfect. It's much like the engine, really. I'd say not too loud, as in too powerful, So it's not obnoxiously loud, it's got a lovely thrum to it and deep burble. Yeah, it's such a great sound, and on the coming off of the throttle you do get pops and bangs, which not too loud, but very nice to add to the character of the bike. I've got the Vance and Hines slip-ons along with the Tech Bike DCAT system. I've got another video on that, I'll pop a link up. That was it, guys. That was just a quick breakdown of the positives and negatives of the Triumph 2019 model Speedmaster, and how my trip went. It's been quality. Absolutely loved it. It's doing me a world of good personally. And I'm actually planning on a lot more. I've really enjoyed it. It's been very good for the old noggin up there. It's really leveled me out and opened my eyes to lots of opportunities of traveling and meeting new people and seeing new places. It's especially in this time of COVID, obviously, it's just stopped so many of us traveling, almost the whole world. So I think now, guys, is such a great time to jump on your bikes or whatever it be and get out there and travel and go and explore. If you're from the UK, the government has just lifted, I believe, or coming up very soon, they're going to lift the travel restrictions and make them a lot easier. So come on team, let's get out there, go traveling, go exploring. I'm definitely going to be. Thanks for watching, guys. Continue to watch the vids if you're liking them, and if you are liking them, guys, please don't forget to subscribe if you like the vids. It really does help me out. But yeah, cool. Thanks for watching. Peace and love. Ciao bella.